Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Aaron. I'm currently a junior with the International Rescue and Relief Program at Union College. IRR, as we say around here, is pretty unique in the fact that it synthesizes emergency medical training with search and rescue training as well as global and community development education. A part of our education, however, or a unique aspect of it, is that we get to actually use our education in a real life setting. We respond to real disasters as a part of, if you're part of our disaster response team. Most recently, in the early days of October, the International Rescue and Relief Program responded to Hurricane Ian at Fort Myers. During that response, I took on the role as medical team manager as well as safety officer. We thought here at the social media team, we thought it'd be cool to kind of put together a gear review of the medical bag that we took in our medical team. Within our medical team, there were 4 of us total, and we all had kind of the same setup. Being the medical team manager, I was in charge of setting up our bags, getting feedback on it from our medical direction, as well as some of our higher level providers here at the program. With that being said, I'll kind of go over our bags. So this is the Stat Pack. I believe it's the G3 backup model. There's several models within the Stat Pack array of systems. I really like this one for a couple reasons. It's pretty slim for all that it encompasses. Has multiple compartments for addressing the March Pause algorithm. That's pretty much the framework that I drew from when organizing this kit. March Pause just standing for the massive hemorrhage, which is our #1 priority when addressing a medical response with a trauma. Airway, respiration, circulation, head and hypothermia. And then the pause side of it is pain, antibiotics, wounds, and then splinting. Just a little disclaimer, all of this stuff is kind of a mix of both training things and training items, such as the training EpiPen that you'll see, as well as real medications, over-the-counter medications. So with all that said, we'll kind of dive into the very top portion of the bag. The very top portion of the bag is for PPE. A lot of the stuff we were doing was relief and recovery efforts. That was the bulk of our efforts in Fort Myers. A lot of the stuff we were doing were muckouts. With muckouts, we had the full PPE. We had our N95s, of course, our gowns, our gloves, and then if the situation dictated, we'd also have our hard hat on as well. We have some of our ear pro. We were using chainsaws for most of the operational period. With that, we have these. We have our eye pro. We have both clears as well as the shaded ones when we're working outside. Just our regular nitrile gloves. Sometimes we carried a Sharpie, as well as batteries for our pulse oxes. We're using the pulse oxes twice a day, and as well as some other electronic devices. So having batteries on hand is super helpful, and keeping them waterproof is something that's very essential as well. So you'll see a lot of the stuff is wrapped in bags and stuff like that. So Sharpie for any documentation efforts, and then of course we have our N95s. Very important to have as well. Within our medical team, we took it upon ourselves to really incorporate PPE as being the most important thing as well, keeping each other safe and keeping our team safe. Moving on from that is our very top compartment. The cool thing about these G3 Stat Packs, the backup model specifically, is that it has kind of a, I believe it's called a Claymore pouch, as a lot of bags call it, but it's just kind of a clamshell opening up where you can access it pretty easily from the top. With that, we had everything that we needed for vital signs. Being heart rate, SpO2, temperature, BP, respiratory rate. All that was done through this top pouch here. So we have our pulse ox. We have our temperature gun. This is just the infrared non-contact thermometer. We would have our stethoscopes. A lot of us brought our own. This one happens to have 2 in the bag, but so stethoscopes. We would have a BP cuff, as such. And then we would also have a glucometer to screen for obviously low blood sugar or anything like that, high blood sugar. And then lastly, we'd have our documentation. So we'd have some sort of paper, our check-ins, medical check-ins were in the morning and in the evening after our operational duty day. So documentation's very important, so we'd have that on hand as well. Moving down, or moving to the left rather, most of the side pouch, actually all the side pouches here, all incorporate immobilization. So spinal immobilization, we have our SAM splints, we have our pelvic binders, anything to keep the body stable and in alignment. So we have our SAM splint. And just another disclaimer, a lot of this stuff too is currently these bags are being used for training, as we have students rotating and doing actual practice scenarios throughout the week as a part of class. So some of the stuff here is not in sterile wrapping, and that's just because of training. Again, we have our pelvic binder, made from SAM as well. We have a head immobilizer, it's a head bed too. I'm not going to pull that out because it's kind of hard to get back in. Moving to the side, or the other side rather, kind of the same thing. We have more of a C-spine precaution, a C-collar here. A lot of folks are getting kind of away from C-collar, but we still have it in our kit. And then some spider straps for securing stretchers or anything like that. Kind of multi-purpose there. Moving on to the main compartment. Go ahead and undo this. Our main compartment shows the bulk of the march algorithm. So our massive hemorrhage is found in this top compartment. It's clearly labeled with bleeding control. Again, these stat packs are awesome because it lays everything out very succinctly and in an easy to access manner. The bleeding control one you just pull out. With this, the big focus was tourniquets. We were using chainsaws and heavy objects to cut down trees and to help with, of course, the relief efforts. So with that, we had 2 tourniquets each. Typically, our medical staff assigned to our different teams would have one in their pockets as well, just for easier access. We have our chest seals. These are our vented chest seals as well from Hyphen. We have our North American Rescue survival blankets for that hypothermia aspect of trauma. Again, like I said, 2 tourniquets, some more occlusive dressings. We have some quick clot, some more quick clot, and then lastly we have some packing gauze. And some of the packing gauze has been opened again because it's a training season currently for us. Putting this away, we have our airway section. The airway section is comprised of, we have our OPAs, we have our NPAs, as well as an advanced airway. We have currently, I believe it's a King, we have a King LTD. Within our scope, we follow everything from our medical control. Nothing we do is without that medical control direction. Just as kind of another disclaimer there. We have a BVM here. We carry both the adult and the pediatric size. This one just happens to have the adult. But yes, if we're going out in response, we'd like to have both. As well, we have a mobile BVM. And then some NPAs as well. So to top that off, go ahead and put this back. Last but not least, we have our medication. We have our medicine pouch here. This one's kind of harder to get out, so I'll lay it down. So in our medication pouch, we did take IM Epi. That was pretty much the only drug that we needed for medical control. Everything else was over the counter. We did have some saline pushes and locks as well. Sharps container, obviously, and then, like I said, the basic over-the-counters, so acetaminophen, ibuprofen, some Claritin, stuff like that. And then in my bag as well, if medical direction authorized it, we also had a capability to administer IV fluids. And then some cold packs in there as well. A very neglected part, I believe, in team medicine is team health. So team health comprising of just making sure that you have your Band-Aids, you have your moleskin, even some ORS. We took quite a bit of liquid IV as well as some emergency, just to keep everybody healthy, and that's found up here in this main compartment on the front. Put that away later. So in this main compartment on the front, like I said, we just have some ORS, just different Band-Aids and moleskin. We're working long days in some hot boots, and moleskin really came in handy. Some other feminine products as well as some iodine, just to irrigate some wounds if we came upon that. And then lastly, we also had some 1-inch tubular nylon. There's a lot you can do with it. A lot of our folks here at IRR are rope rescue technicians, and you know, you can look at our other videos, and there's quite a bit you can do with that accessory as well. With that being said, that is a rough overview of our G3 stat packs that we took on our response to Fort Myers, Florida for Hurricane Ian. If you have any questions or comments, anything you do differently or that you recommend or that you found helpful, please leave it in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any questions on the International Rescue and Relief Program, please visit our YouTube. Like I said, like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our Instagram, Rescue and Relief, as well as our website, ucollege.edu/IRR to learn more. Thanks so much for watching.